This is Lorena Mora-Mowry for Latina Today. Today we have with us Isabel Framer. Good to see you, Isabel. Congratulations for your you're being nominated and you are going to share the wonderful news with us. Welcome to Mujer Latina Today.
Thank you, Lorena, and as always, thank you so much for giving, us Mujer Latinas a voice on your network. I think it's wonderful, and always a pleasure to see you via video conferencing. So thank you very much, and thank you.
Connecting and inspiring today's Latinas, and that's our using the digital technology that is available for us to inspire.
Thank you too for helping me with the technology, because one thing I'm really not, I know I do a lot of social networking, and I love updated technology, but I still don't know how to use it. So thank you for that too.
Well, let's talk about I posted the information that you were or your recent nomination, and trust me, it was just an explosion of congratulations for the Latinas all across United States. But let's talk about their nomination. You have been nominated for Member at Large of the Democratic National Committee for the Democratic Hispanic Caucus, Treasurer for the Credentials Committee, DNC. Oh my gosh. Tell me about when you heard this news. Tell me about it. You were like, what?
Well, I was very excited. I had absolutely no idea. Okay, so this was unexpected, and I got a phone call from the Democratic National Committee, and it was someone that I know, and I'm talking to them and just chatting away, and then my friend, and this is the director for Hispanic Affairs, said, well, now I have to put on my professional voice, and he goes, on behalf of President Obama and Chairwoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz, you are nominated to serve. You have been nominated to serve as an at-large member of the Democratic National Committee. And I got goosebumps. I was like, wow, this is so exciting. And then I was told that I was also nominated to serve on the Credentials Committee. And I can't remember. I mean, it's a little vague right now, but I think it was one site, that there was a meeting that their fall meeting was in Scottsdale, Arizona. So, the nominees had an option to go if they wanted to. And I thought, well, okay, I'm going to make plans right away. I'm going to go to Scottsdale. And, I think this was like a week and a half, plan the trip. And once I was in Scottsdale, then I was informed that I was also being nominated to serve as treasurer of the Democratic, the DNC Hispanic Caucus. So all of this is extremely exciting. It's definitely always an honor to be of service to, the party, to the community, to all communities, particularly with the Hispanic Caucus. I'm thinking this is fabulous, because I know that, Latinos, not only nationally, but, in the state of Ohio, have a voice, through me. So I hope, it's a lot of work. I assume a lot of work, but I'm ready. I'm ready to take on the work, and I'll be very happy to make sure that, our all of our issues, so, the issues that are near to our hearts, that we really care about, education, healthcare, and making sure that also our Hispanic community is at the forefront of a lot of the issues. So it's going to be a great honor. It's a 4-year term, so I have 4 years to do work.
But how many Hispanics do we have for example, in the DNC and the members at large of the Democratic National Committee and the Credential Committee? How many Latinos or Hispanic do we have there? And so let's talk about that.
So first of all, okay, so anybody that votes, that is a Democrat, is a member of the Democratic Party, right? But there are 440 committee members. And out of the 440 committee members, we have currently we have 42 Hispanics that are serving on the Democratic National Committee. And out of the there's 50 at-large members that are nominated nationally by the chairwoman, Debbie Wasserman Schultz. And out of the at-large members, we have, and there's other at-large members also that, I'm still learning the process. So, maybe we'll do another interview as I learn more about some of the procedures, the process, and I could share a lot more. But we currently have, what I learned was that we have 16 Latinos serving as at-large members. And that, to me, is a fabulous number. Another important point that I like to make is that the Latinos were the only constituency group to increase their numbers for the next 4 years. So that is just, very exciting. Yes, yes, se puede, right?
But let's talk about the process to become a leader, because perseverance, number one, we know that. But how you become a leader, how you learn to be in politics.
And what's funny, I've been asked before, and I haven't had, actually, I haven't been able to speak on this, but I have been asked if I would speak to some of our, Latino communities about getting involved and the political process. I'll tell you, Lorena, and I know it's very hard for people to really believe this, but it's the honest to God truth that, I never got involved in politics, ever. Okay? I mean, that's not, what I am, though, is I am an advocate. I think I was born an advocate because from the time I was very little, I always wanted to protect anybody that was being injured. It's like it was already in me, in my heart, in my blood. And so all along, I've been that way all throughout my life. And but never thought, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get involved in campaigns. Nothing like that at all. Now, because of my passion to make sure that, and again, it's not just the Latino community, but all immigrant communities that we are, that our issues are heard, that, particularly, what I got involved with, as you well know, was the issue of language access, access to individuals that do not speak English. And what prompted me to do that was seeing the injustices that were taking place, due to the language barrier. Some of the injustices were not intentional, but, nevertheless, they were taking place because it was a language barrier, whether it was, in the medical setting, in domestic violence settings, law enforcement, and I'm sorry about my phone, I didn't, so seeing the injustices with individuals that don't speak English just really prompted some activism in my heart, in my soul that was already there. And I got involved in policy, and I learned, that the way that you make changes, okay? I mean, I could be out there rallying, I could have signs, and, but really the way that you influence changes is through policy. So I got very involved in policy change. And even though that, I guess it does get political because, there are different interest groups or individuals that may oppose your position, but I just kept going, and I knew I was doing the right thing. And all I could tell you is that, as I kept going, one door would open, and the other door would open, and I just go through the door, and that doesn't mean, there hasn't been bruises, there's been a few bruises, but it's the outcome that, keeps me going. So this is political, this is as political, I think, as you can really get. But again, it's that love and passion that is within me to make sure that, again, like I said, our issues, the issues that affect all people that are dear to my heart, I'll be able to advocate for that, and from a policy and from the inside as opposed to the outside.
Tell me about that. How you feel about being part of you will be a treasurer, but the Democratic Hispanic Caucus.
I was extremely excited. Okay, I'm thinking, wow, the Hispanic Caucus, right? And I don't think there's a better place to really put me in other than the Hispanic Caucus to be able to reach out and work with our caucus. Now, I met a few people, and I know that we have some very excellent people that are on the caucus. The chair of the caucus is Senator Iris Martinez. She's a senator from Illinois, and she's wonderful. She's very dynamic. So I'm really looking forward to working with her and the caucus. I have a lot of ideas. There are, this is how I get whenever, I work on any issues, I start brainstorming. So I've been brainstorming already, and I have a lot of ideas on, what can we do as a caucus to help our community, in advance, in advance of any presidential election. How can we reach out? How can we, partner? And also, how can we, honor the people that are working on behalf of our community that maybe some people know, but they're not, no one on a real, national platform, if you know what I mean, So I'm thinking, but I'm again, these are just ideas, and obviously I'm going to be writing them down and presenting, some of my ideas to the caucus, and see how we could all come together and working on some of the issues.
Well, I'm so happy that you have given this opportunity to interview you, because definitely our voice it was heard in the past election, but now we can see that we have a Latina from Ohio representing us. That we were, we didn't exist before the election. Now Ohio is powerful, and now to have you there, we are more powerful. So anyway.
Let me tell you something about that. So, you know how everybody talked about su voto es su voz. Your vote is your voice. And now you can see that it is so true. I mean, Latinos came out to re-elect President Obama in record numbers. Not just nationally. As you know, the national surveys were like 71%. But there's the Latino decision that showed during the polls, the exit, I think it was the exit polls, or that 80% of Latinos in Ohio voted for President Barack Obama.
Yeah.
And so, yes, again, our voice, was heard. Our vote is our voice now. And so, to me, that's extremely exciting. Exciting for the country, and exciting for the, for Ohio. One last thing I want to say, though, too, in my role as the DNC, committee member, at-large member, I am here to support candidates, Democratic candidates, to support our elected officials, and definitely to support President's agenda, which is something, as you well know, I've been doing from the beginning, so I'm just going to continue, and it's great, but it's at a different level. And I leave you with one last thought, as hard as it may be on anything that we do, whether it's policy change, advocacy on any of the issues, is don't give up. Never give up. And one of my most wonderful mentors, I call him my mentor. He never officially said he was my mentor, but it's a judge in Cleveland, Judge, and I'm going to say Judge Adrian, who has always been by my side for many years on the LEP issues. But he always said to me, he'd always say, you know, you keep your eyes on the prize. You never give in, never give up. So remember that. You just keep going. Well, thank you, Lorena. Thank you again, and hopefully we'll talk soon.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.